The stars looked different from Outpost Delta 9. Olivia Kendrick thought about this as she stared out the small window of the monitoring station. 3 years had passed since the war with the Voidborn ended. 3 years of quiet, of waiting, of watching the dark space beyond Jupiter's moon Europa. Olivia checked the monitors again. Nothing unusual. The same readings as yesterday and the day before that. Her fingers tapped against the cold metal console. The outpost felt empty tonight. Most of the crew was asleep, leaving her alone for the night shift. The war had changed everything. Humanity had barely survived the attacks from the technologically advanced aliens. No one knew where the Voidborn came from or why they attacked. The ceasefire was not a victory, just a pause in the fighting. Everyone knew this, but no one said it out loud. Olivia's thoughts drifted to her time as a field medic during the war. She had seen things that still gave her nightmares. The strange weapons of the Voidborn, the bodies of soldiers torn apart in ways that made no sense. She shook her head, trying to push the memories away. A soft beep from the console pulled her back to the present. Olivia frowned, leaning closer to the screen. An energy signature, small but unusual, was moving toward the station. It didn't match any known human craft. It didn't match the Voidborn ships from the war either. She should report this. Protocol was clear. Any unknown contact needed to be reported immediately. But something made her hesitate. Curiosity, maybe, or perhaps she was just tired of the endless waiting. "Computer, track that signal," she said quietly, "and prepare Airlock 7 for possible use." Olivia made her decision. She would check it out herself first. If it was something dangerous, she could still sound the alarm. She grabbed her emergency kit and headed toward the airlock. The station's corridors were dim during night cycle, lit only by the soft blue glow of emergency lighting. Olivia moved quickly, not wanting anyone to question where she was going. At Airlock 7, she suited up in an EVA suit and checked her oxygen levels. "Computer, open outer airlock door on my mark," she said. "Mark." The airlock hissed open, revealing the vast darkness of space. Jupiter loomed large in the distance, a giant swirl of orange and red. Europa's icy surface reflected sunlight below, and there, drifting slowly toward the station, was a small craft unlike anything Olivia had ever seen. It looked damaged. Parts of its smooth, silvery hull were torn open, revealing strange technology beneath. It was roughly the size of a shuttle, but its design was organic, almost like a living thing, definitely not human. Olivia pushed off from the airlock, her suit's thrusters carrying her toward the unknown craft. As she got closer, she could see that it had no visible windows or hatches. Its surface seemed to ripple slightly like water. "What are you?" she whispered to herself. When she touched the craft's hull, it felt warm through her gloves. A strange sensation like a mild electric current ran up her arm. Then, to her surprise, a section of the hull simply opened, revealing a dark interior. Olivia hesitated. Every part of her training told her to go back, to report this, to wait for a proper team. But something pulled her forward. A feeling she couldn't explain. She shined her suit light into the opening and saw what looked like a small control room. The interior walls were covered in patterns that glowed faintly, shifting colors from blue to purple to silver. And there, slumped in what appeared to be a pilot's seat, was a figure. Olivia moved closer, her heart pounding. The figure was humanoid, but clearly not human. Its skin was a silvery color that seemed to shimmer with its own light. Its face was delicate, with features that reminded Olivia of ancient statues, beautiful but alien. It appeared female, with a slender build and long silver hair that floated in the zero gravity. The alien was injured. Dark fluid, like liquid mercury, seeped from wounds on its torso and arm. Its eyes were closed, and Olivia couldn't tell if it was breathing. Without thinking, Olivia reached out and checked for a pulse. She found one. Fast and fluttery, but definitely there. The alien was alive. "I can't leave you here," Olivia said. Though she knew the alien couldn't hear her, she gently pulled the figure from the seat. The alien was surprisingly light, almost weightless. Olivia activated her comm unit. "Computer, prepare Medical Bay 3 for emergency use. Lock it down for quarantine protocol." She couldn't take the alien to the main medical bay. That would be noticed immediately. Bay 3 was small, used for storage more than treatment, but it had basic medical equipment. Getting back to the station with the unconscious alien was difficult. Olivia had to move slowly, keeping the figure close to her body as she maneuvered through the airlock. Once inside, she quickly moved through the corridors, thankful that night shift meant few people were around. In Medical Bay 3, Olivia locked the door behind her and gently placed the alien on the exam table. Under the bright lights, the alien's skin seemed to glow from within, patterns of light moving beneath the surface like a living language. Olivia removed her helmet and took a deep breath. What she was doing broke every rule in the book, bringing an unknown alien aboard without authorization, hiding it from her superiors. This was the kind of thing that ended careers, or worse. But looking at the injured alien, Olivia couldn't bring herself to regret her decision. She began gathering medical supplies, hoping her training as a field medic would be enough. The alien's wounds were unlike anything she had treated before. The mercury-like blood seemed to react to Olivia's touch, sometimes pulling away, sometimes clinging to her gloves. She cleaned the wounds as best she could and applied synthetic skin grafts, hoping they would work on alien biology. Hours passed as Olivia worked. The alien remained unconscious, but its breathing became steadier. The patterns of light beneath its skin began to pulse in a more regular rhythm. Just as Olivia was finishing, the alien's eyes suddenly opened. Olivia gasped and stepped back. The eyes were entirely black except for tiny points of light that looked like distant stars. Those eyes fixed on Olivia with an intensity that made her freeze. The alien's lips parted, and to Olivia's shock, it spoke. "They will come for me," it said, its voice musical and strange. "They will destroy everything." Olivia couldn't move, couldn't speak. The alien reached out a slender hand, its fingers touching Olivia's wrist. The touch sent a wave of images through Olivia's mind. Stars, ships, destruction on a scale she couldn't comprehend. "Who are you?" Olivia finally managed to ask. The alien's star-filled eyes blinked slowly. The patterns on its skin shifted, brightening. "You saw me as human?" The alien girl whispered softly. "No one has ever done that before." Morning alarms blared through the station. Olivia jumped, realizing she had fallen asleep in the chair beside the exam table. The alien was watching her with those strange, star-filled eyes. "You need to hide," Olivia said quickly. "If anyone finds you here—" "I understand," the alien said. Her voice sounded more normal now, less ethereal. "Your kind fears what is different." Olivia helped the alien move to a storage closet at the back of the medical bay. The alien was stronger now, though she still moved with careful, pained steps. "What's your name?" Olivia asked as she arranged blankets to make a hiding place. The alien made a sound that Olivia couldn't possibly pronounce, like music and whispers. Combined. "You can call me Lyra," the alien said after seeing Olivia's confused face. "It is close enough to my true name in your language." "Lyra," Olivia repeated. "I'm Olivia Kendrick. I'm a lieutenant with Earth Space Command." "Earth," Lyra said the word carefully. "The blue planet. We have been watching it for a long time." Olivia felt a chill run down her spine. "We, you mean the Voidborn?" Lyra's skin patterns shifted, darkening slightly. "Yes, I am what you call Voidborn. But I am not like the others. I'm a Pathfinder." Before Olivia could ask what that meant, her comm unit beeped. It was Commander Heather Walsh requesting all officers for morning briefing. "I have to go," Olivia said. "Stay here." "Stay quiet. I'll bring food when I can." The briefing room was crowded. Olivia slipped in and took a seat near the back, hoping no one would notice the dark circles under her eyes or her rumpled uniform. Commander Walsh stood at the front, her face grim. At 0300 hours, our sensors detected an anomalous energy signature entering our sector. Initial analysis suggests it may be Voidborn in origin. Olivia's heart raced. They knew about Lyra's ship. A scout team has been dispatched to investigate. If it is Voidborn, this could mean the ceasefire is at risk. All personnel are to remain on high alert. After the briefing, Olivia hurried to the mess hall, grabbing extra food rations that she could smuggle back to Lyra. As she was leaving, she nearly bumped into Dr. Kimberly Winters, the station's chief medical officer. "Lieutenant Kendrick," Dr. Winters said with a smile. "I noticed Medical Bay 3 was accessed last night. Something I should know about?" Olivia's mouth went dry. "Just restocking some supplies, ma'am. I couldn't sleep." Dr. Winters nodded, but her eyes were suspicious. "Next time, leave that to the medical staff. We have protocols." Olivia rushed back to Medical Bay 3, her mind racing. How long before someone checked the logs more carefully? How long before they found Lyra? Lyra emerged from her hiding place when Olivia entered. The alien looked stronger, her skin glowing more brightly. Your body heals quickly, Olivia said, handing over the food. Lyra examined the protein bars and fruit with curiosity. My kind adapts. It is what we were made for. Made for? Olivia asked, Lyra's star eyes fixed on Olivia. The Voidborn are not a natural species. We were created by the architects to serve as their navigators and scouts. They designed us to travel between dimensions to find new worlds for them to consume. Olivia sat down, trying to process this information. But the war. Why attack Earth? The architects saw your world as a threat. Humans are unpredictable, creative. You build and destroy with equal passion. The architects fear what they cannot control. Lyra's skin rippled with patterns that seemed to express sadness. Most Voidborn cannot disobey the architects. They were created with absolute loyalty programmed into their very cells. But I am different. A mistake in my creation gave me free will. And that's why you ran away, Olivia said, understanding dawning. You're a defector. I discovered the truth, Lyra said. The ceasefire your people believe in is a lie. The Voidborn fleet has not retreated. They have been moving into position, surrounding your solar system. Soon they will attack again, and this time they will not stop until every human is gone. Olivia felt sick. We have to warn Earth, we have to. An alarm cut her off. Red lights flashed throughout the station. Attention all personnel. Commander Walsh's voice came over the speakers. An unidentified vessel has been detected on approach. Preliminary scans indicate Voidborn design. Battle stations. This is not a drill. Lyra's skin went pale. They have found me. How? Olivia asked. How could they track you here? The architects see through Voidborn eyes, Lyra explained. All Voidborn are connected to them? I thought I had severed my connection, but perhaps some trace remains. The station shuddered as defensive systems came online. Olivia's comm unit beeped again. All officers were being called to their posts. I have to go, Olivia said. If this turns into a fight, it will, Lyra said. The hunter-killer that has come for me will not leave witnesses. They will destroy this station and everyone on it. Olivia ran to her station in the weapons control room. From there, she could see the Voidborn ship on the monitors. It was larger than Lyra's craft, shaped like a predatory sea creature. All sharp angles and threatening spines. Lieutenant Kendrick, target weapon systems and prepare to fire on my command, Commander Walsh ordered. Before Olivia could comply, the station's comm system crackled with an incoming message. Attention human outpost, a cold mechanical voice spoke. You are harboring a fugitive of the architects. Surrender the Pathfinder designated Lyra 927 or be destroyed. Commander Walsh looked confused. What the hell is a Pathfinder? Olivia's hands trembled over the controls. She couldn't give Lyra up, but she couldn't let the station be destroyed either. The decision was taken from her when the Voidborn ship opened fire without warning. The station rocked violently as energy beams struck its shields. Return fire, Commander Walsh shouted. Olivia targeted the enemy ship and fired the station's plasma cannons. The shot seemed to pass right through the Voidborn vessel, as if it wasn't fully in this dimension. Another blast hit the station, this one breaking through the shields. Alarms blared as hull breaches were reported in multiple sections. Olivia abandoned her post and ran toward Medical Bay 3. She had to get to Lyra. Maybe the alien knew how to fight her own kind. The corridors were chaos, filled with smoke and running crew members. Emergency bulkheads were coming down, sealing off damaged sections. Olivia barely made it through one before it closed. When she reached Medical Bay 3, she found the door open and Lyra gone. Panic seized her. Had Lyra been taken? Had she fled? Olivia's comm unit beeped again. All personnel to evacuation pods. Station integrity at 20% and falling. Evacuate immediately. As Olivia turned to run, a hand grabbed her arm. Lyra stood there, her skin glowing brightly. I can stop this, Lyra said. But I need your help. How? Olivia asked. My escape pod contains data. Frequencies that can disrupt the psychic link between the architects and their creations. If we can broadcast it, the hunter-killer will be free of control long enough for your weapons to be effective. Olivia nodded. We need to get to the communication array. Together, they raced through the damaged station. Twice they had to hide as security teams ran past. Olivia knew that if they were seen, Lyra would be captured immediately. At the communication hub, Olivia sealed the doors behind them. Lyra moved to the main console, her fingers dancing over the controls with surprising familiarity. How do you know our technology? Olivia asked. Pathfinders learn quickly, Lyra said, and I have been watching humans for a long time. Lyra's skin began to glow more intensely, patterns flowing down her arms and into the console. The station's systems responded to her touch in ways Olivia had never seen. What are you doing? Olivia asked. Connecting directly, Lyra said, her voice strained. My mind to your machines. The data is in me. The architects did not realize I copied it before I fled. As Lyra worked, Olivia watched the monitors. The Voidborn ship was preparing another attack. This one would likely finish the station. Hurry, Olivia urged. Almost, Lyra whispered. Then her eyes widened. No, they know. They see us through the ship's sensors. The communication hub's doors suddenly shuddered as something hit them from outside. Someone was trying to break in. Security override in progress, the computer announced. Stand by, Olivia drew her sidearm. Keep working. I'll hold them off. Lyra nodded, her skin now blazing with light as she connected more deeply with the station's systems. You saw me as human, Lyra whispered as she worked. Now I will show you what that means to me. The doors to the communication hub burst open. Security officers poured in, weapons raised. At their head was Major Eleanor Grant, her cold eyes taking in the scene. Step away from the alien. Lieutenant Kendrick, Major Grant ordered. Olivia stood her ground, keeping herself between the security team and Lyra. She's trying to save us, Major. The Voidborn ship will destroy this station if we don't let her finish. Major Grant's face showed no emotion. That creature is property of Earth Space Command. Its technology will help us win the war. She, Olivia corrected. Not it. And she's a person, not property. Lyra's voice came from behind Olivia, strangely amplified through the station's speakers. She cannot hear you, Olivia. She is not herself. Major Grant's eyes narrowed. Contain the alien. Kill the lieutenant if necessary. The security team moved forward. Olivia raised her weapon, knowing she was outnumbered. Then Lyra began to sing. It wasn't like any sound Olivia had ever heard. The song bypassed her ears and seemed to touch her mind directly, beautiful and terrible at once. The advancing security team stopped, confusion on their faces. Major Grant clutched her head, her cold expression cracking. Stop that noise! Lyra's song grew louder, filling the room, filling the station. Olivia felt something brush against her consciousness, images and feelings not her own. She saw stars being born and dying. She felt the cold emptiness between galaxies. She experienced the terror of being created to serve, of being a tool rather than a person. What are you doing to them? Olivia asked, watching as the security team members dropped their weapons, some falling to their knees. Showing them truth, Lyra said, her voice echoing strangely. The architects do not just control the Voidborn. They have agents among humans too. Major Grant screamed, a sound of pure rage and fear. She drew her sidearm and fired wildly at Lyra. Olivia tackled the Major, but not before a shot grazed Lyra's shoulder. The silvery blood that spilled from Lyra's wound seemed to float in the air, forming complex patterns before dissolving into light. Lyra didn't stop her song even as her body weakened. Through the station windows, Olivia could see the Voidborn hunter-killer ship. It had stopped its attack and now hung motionless in space, as if confused. It's working, Olivia said, struggling to restrain Major Grant. The ship's crew is being affected too. Lyra nodded, her star-filled eyes now blazing with inner light. The song breaks the architect's control. But I cannot maintain it long. The communication console beeped. Commander Walsh's voice came through, filled with confusion. What's happening? The enemy ship has stopped firing. Olivia kicked Major Grant's weapon away and moved to the console. Commander, this is Lieutenant Kendrick. The Voidborn ship is temporarily disabled. You need to destroy it now before it recovers. Kendrick? What are you doing in comms? Where's the duty officer? There's no time to explain. Trust me, Commander. Fire everything we have at that ship now while we have a chance. There was a pause, then. Targeting systems engaged. Firing main weapons. Through the windows, Olivia saw the station's plasma cannons fire. This time, the energy beams didn't pass through the Voidborn ship. They struck it directly, causing explosions across its hull. Lyra's song faltered. She stumbled, nearly falling. Olivia rushed to her side, supporting her. I cannot maintain the disruption, Lyra gasped. Too many minds to hold. The security team was recovering, shaking their heads as if waking from a dream. Major Grant lay unconscious on the floor, her breathing shallow. On the monitors, The Voidborn ship was badly damaged but beginning to move again. Its weapon systems coming back online. One more volley, Olivia said into the comm. Hit them again, Commander. The station's weapons fired once more. This time the Voidborn ship erupted in a strange, silent explosion that seemed to fold in on itself before disappearing entirely. Target destroyed, came Commander Walsh's voice. All personnel report status. Lyra collapsed into Olivia's arms, her skin fading to a dull gray. The link. I broke it completely. The ship's crew is free now, but too late for them. Security officers were approaching again, weapons ready but confusion on their faces. They didn't seem to remember what had happened. We need to get out of here, Olivia said, helping Lyra to stand. They'll lock you up if they catch you. The station is too damaged, Lyra said weakly. It will not survive much longer. The hunter-killer's weapons struck the main reactor. As if to confirm her words, a new alarm sounded. Warning, reactor containment failing. Estimated time to critical failure, 15 minutes. All personnel evacuate immediately. Chaos erupted in the station as everyone rushed to evacuation pods. Olivia supported Lyra through the corridors, trying to avoid the crowds. They made it to a maintenance shaft that led directly to the shuttle bay. If we can reach my ship, Lyra said, we can escape. It is damaged but can still fly. The shuttle bay was nearly empty when they arrived. Most of the escape pods already launched. Olivia could see Lyra's small craft through the bay windows, still drifting where she had left it. We'll need spacesuits, Olivia said, moving to a storage locker. As she retrieved 2 suits, the bay doors opened. Commander Walsh entered, followed by Dr. Winters. Both women stopped when they saw Lyra. Lieutenant Kendrick, Commander Walsh said slowly, I think you have some explaining to do. Olivia stepped in front of Lyra protectively. Commander, the station is about to explode. We don't have time for explanations. Make time, Commander Walsh said, drawing her sidearm. What is that creature? And why did Major Grant try to take over the communication hub? Dr. Winters moved closer, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. Is that a Voidborn alive? Lyra spoke, her voice weak but clear. I am Lyra, a pathfinder of the Voidborn. I came to warn you. The ceasefire is a lie. The architects plan to destroy all humans. Commander Walsh's expression hardened. And we should believe you, why? Because she just saved all our lives, Olivia said. That Voidborn ship would have destroyed the station if not for her. The station shuddered violently. Lights flickered. Warning, reactor critical. 10 minutes to detonation. Commander Walsh looked torn. Even if what you say is true, I can't let you take her. She's too valuable as an intelligence asset. She's a person, Olivia insisted. Not an asset. Dr. Winters stepped forward unexpectedly. Commander, we don't have time for this. The lieutenant is right. The station is about to blow. We need to evacuate. Another violent shudder ran through the station. A ceiling panel crashed down nearby. Commander Walsh lowered her weapon slightly. Dr. Winters, get to an escape pod. I'll deal with this. There's more at stake here than regulations, Heather, Dr. Winters said, using the commander's first name. If what the alien says is true, Earth needs to know. Commander Walsh hesitated, then made her decision. Fine, but I'm coming with you, Lieutenant. Someone needs to keep an eye on your alien friend. Together, they put on spacesuits. Lyra struggled with hers, her weakened body making the task difficult. Olivia helped her, securing the helmet last. The suit wasn't designed for your physiology, Olivia said. It might be uncomfortable. I will adapt, Lyra said, her voice coming through the suit's comm system. They cycled through the airlock just as another explosion rocked the station. Once outside, they used their suit thrusters to move toward Lyra's craft. What about the other crew? Olivia asked, looking back at the damaged station. Most have evacuated, Commander Walsh replied. Rescue ships are already on their way from Europa base. They reached Lyra's ship. The hull opened at Lyra's touch, allowing them entry. Inside, the organic-looking controls were still lit with soft, pulsing light. Can this thing get us to Europa base? Commander Walsh asked, examining the alien technology with suspicion. No, Lyra said, settling into what appeared to be a pilot's seat. But it can take us somewhere safer. What do you mean safer? Commander Walsh demanded. Before Lyra could answer, a proximity alarm sounded from the small craft systems. On a glowing display, they could see another Voidborn vessel entering the area, much larger than the hunter-killer they had destroyed. A dreadnought, Lyra said, her voice filled with fear. They sent a dreadnought to make sure. Commander Walsh's face paled inside her helmet. That thing is at least 5 times the size of our largest battleship. The station, Olivia said suddenly. The reactor explosion, could it damage that ship? Lyra's star-filled eyes widened behind her faceplate. Yes. If the ship is close enough when the reactor detonates, the dimensional shockwave would disrupt its shields. Commander Walsh understood immediately. We need to lure it closer to the station before it blows. How? Olivia asked. That thing isn't going to fall for a trap. It might, Lyra said. If it believes I am still on the station, she explained quickly. The Voidborn ships track the unique psychic signature of Pathfinders. Lyra could project her signature back to the station, making the dreadnought believe she was still there. It's too dangerous, Olivia protested. You're already weakened. There is no choice, Lyra said. Her skin began to glow again as she placed her hands on the ship's controls. I can do this. On the display, they watched as the massive Voidborn dreadnought changed course, moving toward the station. Lyra's body trembled with effort, the patterns on her skin flowing faster. The journey through what Lyra called the space between spaces was unlike anything Olivia had experienced. Outside the viewports of the small craft, reality itself seemed to fold and unfold in impossible ways. Colors that had no names flowed past them. Shapes that shouldn't exist formed and dissolved. What is this place? Commander Walsh asked, her voice hushed with awe and fear. The void, Lyra explained. Her strength was returning slowly, the patterns of light beneath her skin growing brighter. It exists between dimensions, between realities. This is where the Voidborn were born, where we were made. Olivia tried to make sense of what she was seeing. Sometimes she thought she glimpsed planets or stars, but they were wrong somehow. Twisted versions of familiar things. Is this safe for humans? She asked. As long as you stay in the ship, yes, Lyra said. Your bodies were not designed to exist here. Mine was. Commander Walsh studied their alien companion with military assessment. These architects you mentioned, they created your people to navigate this place. Yes, they cannot enter the void themselves. Their physical forms would dissolve. So they made us to be their eyes, their hands, to find paths between worlds. Paths to invade, Olivia said, understanding dawning. That's why they attacked Earth. They found it through you. Lyra's skin patterns shifted to darker colors, expressing what Olivia now recognized as shame. Not through me specifically, but yes, through Pathfinders like me, we were sent to map your solar system, to find the best routes for their warships. Commander Walsh's expression hardened. And now you expect us to trust you? After your kind helped destroy half our colonies? Heather, Olivia said, using the commander's first name for the first time. She's risking everything to help us. She didn't have to warn us about the ceasefire being a lie. Lyra looked at the commander with her star-filled eyes. I cannot undo what was done, but I can help prevent what is to come. The architects will not stop with a few colonies. They want your entire world, your entire species. Why? Walsh demanded. What could they possibly want from Earth that they couldn't get elsewhere? Your creativity, Lyra said simply. Humans create in ways the architects cannot understand. Art, music, stories. Even your technologies evolve in unpredictable patterns. That frightens and fascinates them. They want to study you to learn how you do it, and then they want to eliminate you because unpredictable things are dangerous. The ship suddenly slowed. Outside, the chaotic flows of the void parted to reveal what looked like a massive structure floating in nothingness. It appeared to be built from the same silvery material as Lyra's ship, but on an enormous scale, a sprawling complex of spheres and curves. The Haven, Lyra said, a note of relief in her musical voice. Our sanctuary. As they approached, parts of the structure began to glow in patterns similar to those on Lyra's skin. A greeting, or perhaps a security check. Lyra touched the ship's controls, sending answering patterns of light. A section of the Haven opened, creating a docking bay large enough for their small craft. Lyra guided them inside, where several similar ships were already docked. The bay sealed behind them and something like gravity took hold. We can breathe here, Lyra said, removing her helmet. The atmosphere is a mix compatible with both our species. Olivia and Commander Walsh exchanged glances, then cautiously removed their helmets. The air smelled clean but strange, like nothing on Earth, with a hint of something that reminded Olivia of the air after a lightning storm. As they exited the ship, they were met by three figures. They resembled Lyra in their basic form, humanoid with silvery skin marked by flowing patterns of light. But each was unique. One was tall and willowy, with patterns that flowed like water. Another was more solidly built, with geometric patterns that pulsed steadily. The third was smaller, almost childlike, with swirling patterns that changed colors rapidly. The three Voidborn greeted Lyra in their musical language. She responded, then turned to the humans. "These are my kin," she explained. "Naya, Teth, and Keo. They are pathfinders like me who broke free from the Architect's control." The tallest of the three, Naya, stepped forward. Her star eyes studied the humans with open curiosity. "You bring outsiders to our sanctuary," she said, her English perfect but strangely accented. "This is unexpected." "They helped me escape a hunter-killer," Lyra explained. "And they destroyed a dreadnought. They can be trusted." The one called Teth made a sound like chimes in the wind. Laughter, Olivia realized. Destroyed a dreadnought? These small creatures? Now that is a story I wish to hear. Commander Walsh stood straight, every inch the military officer despite the strange surroundings. "I am Commander Heather Walsh of Earth Space Command. This is Lieutenant Olivia Kendrick. We're here because Lyra says the ceasefire between our peoples is a lie." The mood among the Voidborn changed instantly. The patterns on their skin darkened, moving faster. "It is worse than that," said Keo, the smallest one. "The great fleets are already in motion. The architects have grown impatient." Naya gestured for them to follow. "Come. The council must hear of this." They walked through corridors that seemed to shift and change subtly as they passed. Other Voidborn moved about, all with the same silvery skin and star eyes, but each with unique patterns and builds. Some stopped to stare at the humans with obvious surprise or curiosity. "How many of you are there?" Olivia asked Lyra quietly. "Here? Perhaps 200, Lyra replied. "A tiny fraction of our total species. Most remain enslaved to the architects." They entered a large circular chamber. In the center was a pool of what looked like liquid mercury, glowing with inner light. Around it stood 7 Voidborn, older than the others judging by the complexity of their skin patterns. "The Council of Free Pathfinders," Lyra explained. "Our leaders." One of the council members stepped forward, ancient by the look of her, with intricate patterns that barely moved on her wrinkled silver skin. "Lyra 927, she said, her voice like old wind chimes. "You returned to us with humans." She didn't sound angry, merely curious. "Elder Mira," Lyra bowed slightly. "I bring news of the architect's plans and allies who may help us." Lyra explained everything, her discovery of the true purpose of the ceasefire, her escape, the hunter-killer sent after her, and the destruction of the dreadnought. The council listened in silence, the patterns on their skin the only indication of their reactions. When she finished, Elder Mira turned her star-filled gaze to the humans. "You risked your lives to help one not of your kind." "Why?" Olivia spoke before Commander Walsh could. "Because Lyra is a person. Not an enemy, not a thing to be used. A person who needed help." The Elder's patterns shifted in what might have been surprise. "Interesting. The architects believe humans incapable of seeing beyond surface differences." "The architects are wrong about many things," Commander Walsh said, "but we need more than words to convince our leaders. Earth's defenses were devastated in the last war. If another attack is coming, we need proof to make them believe." Elder Mira nodded slowly. "Proof we can provide." She gestured to the mercury-like pool. "This is the Nexus. Through it, we can see the movements of Voidborn fleets. We can show you what comes for your world." The Elder touched the surface of the pool. The liquid rippled, then formed into a 3-dimensional map of stars. Olivia recognized the configuration of Earth's solar system. Around it, moving slowly but inexorably inward, were hundreds of red points of light. "The invasion fleet," Mira said, "larger than anything you have faced before. They will reach your outer defenses in 27 of your days." Commander Walsh's face paled. That's impossible to stop. Even if I could convince High Command, we don't have the firepower or the time." "Perhaps not through conventional means," said another council member, "but there may be another way." The council member waved a hand over the pool and the image changed. Now it showed what appeared to be a massive structure orbiting a distant star. "The Architect Command Node," Mira explained, "the primary control center for this sector of space. From there they direct all Voidborn fleets." Lyra's patterns brightened with sudden understanding. If we could disable it, the fleets would be momentarily freed from control, Mira confirmed. Just as the hunter-killer was when you disrupted its link. And then what? Walsh asked. They'd regain control eventually, wouldn't they? Not if the disruption was permanent, said Teth, the sturdy Voidborn who had greeted them. Not if we could send the signal that Lyra carries, the one that breaks the psychic chains completely. Olivia looked at the structure in the pool. You're talking about a strike mission? Getting inside that thing and broadcasting the signal? Mira nodded. Precisely. But no Voidborn can approach the node without being detected. Our psychic signatures would alert the architects immediately. But humans have no such signature, Lyra said, excitement in her voice. They could approach undetected. Commander Walsh laughed without humor. With what? We have no ships that could reach that star in 27 days. We do, said Keo, the small Voidborn. Our scout vessels can traverse the void. They can take you there in hours. Can humans even pilot your ships? Olivia asked. Lyra touched Olivia's hand. The contact sent a strange tingling sensation up her arm. Not alone, but together perhaps. The ritual chamber was deep within the haven, a perfectly circular room with walls that seemed to absorb light. In the center was a pool similar to the one in the council chamber, but smaller and glowing with a soft blue radiance. Olivia stood at the edge of the pool, dressed in a silvery garment the Voidborn had provided. Across from her, Lyra waited, her skin patterns flowing with nervous energy. Elder Mira and the council surrounded them along with Commander Walsh, who watched with barely concealed apprehension. The joining is not to be undertaken lightly, Elder Mira said, her ancient voice echoing in the chamber. Two minds will become one, if only for a time. Memories will be shared. Thoughts will flow between you. When it is done, you will never be quite the same. Olivia swallowed hard. Will I still be me? Yes, Mira assured her. Your core self will remain, but you will carry a piece of Lyra within you always, as she will carry a piece of you. Lyra stepped forward, her star eyes fixed on Olivia. We can still choose another path. I would not force this on you. Olivia shook her head. Earth has less than a month. We don't have time to find another solution. Commander Walsh cleared her throat. The mission parameters are clear. We use this joining to pilot a Voidborn scout ship to the Architect command node. Once there, we plant the signal device and broadcast the freedom frequency to all Voidborn in the invasion fleet. If successful, Teth said, the fleets will be freed from control. Many will rebel immediately. Others may be confused but no longer hostile. And the architects themselves? Walsh asked. Keo, the small Voidborn, spoke up. They will be vulnerable without their servants. For the first time in millennia, they will know fear. Elder Mira gestured to the pool. If you are ready, it is time to begin. Olivia took a deep breath and nodded. Lyra did the same. Enter the pool together, Mira instructed. The liquid looked like mercury but felt like warm water as Olivia stepped into it. Lyra entered from the opposite side. They waded toward each other until they stood face to face in the center, the glowing liquid reaching their waists. Now, said Mira. Embrace. Olivia hesitated for just a moment, then wrapped her arms around Lyra. The alien girl did the same, her touch sending that now familiar tingling sensation across Olivia's skin. Do not fight what comes, Mira told Olivia. Let it flow through you. Acceptance is the key. The council began to sing in their strange musical language. The liquid around them started to glow more brightly, spiraling up around their bodies in luminous tendrils. Lyra leaned forward until her forehead touched Olivia's. I am afraid too, she whispered. But not of you. The world exploded into light. Olivia was falling, flying, drifting through endless space. Stars rushed past her, galaxies spun beneath her feet. She was everywhere and nowhere at once. Then came the memories. She was Lyra, newly created in the architect's birthing chambers, her mind already filled with knowledge but empty of experience. She was learning to navigate the void, feeling the currents of reality flow around her. She was discovering the flaw in her creation, the spark of free will that made her different from her kin. She was Olivia, a child on Earth, looking up at the stars with wonder. She was a young woman joining Earth Space Command, filled with determination to protect her home. She was a field medic during the war, trying desperately to save lives as void-born weapons tore through human defenses. The memories flowed faster, blending together, pain and joy, fear and hope, all mixed into a storm of sensation that threatened to overwhelm her. Then suddenly calm, Olivia felt a presence in her mind, distinct from herself yet intimately connected. Lyra. I am here. Lyra's thoughts came to her, not as words but as pure meaning. We are joined now. Olivia tried to respond and found she could simply think her reply. It's overwhelming, yes, Lyra agreed, but also beautiful, is it not? To know another so completely. Olivia could feel Lyra's emotions as if they were her own. The wonder at this connection, the lingering fear of the architects, the hope that their mission would succeed. Gradually, the storm of memories subsided. Olivia became aware of her physical body again. She was still standing in the pool, still embracing Lyra. But something had changed. When she opened her eyes, she could see patterns of light flowing beneath her own skin, faint echoes of Lyra's bioluminescence. Lyra's eyes were open too, but they had changed. The endless black was now flecked with brown, the color of Olivia's eyes. It is done, Elder Mira announced. The joining is complete. They separated slowly, both unsteady on their feet. Commander Walsh rushed forward to help Olivia from the pool. Are you all right? Walsh asked, concern in her voice. You were glowing. I'm okay, Olivia said. Her voice sounded strange to her own ears. A hint of Lyra's musical quality now mixed with her human tones. Just different. Lyra emerged from the pool, supported by Naya. The joining was successful. We are connected now. Olivia could feel it, a constant awareness of Lyra's presence in her mind. Not intrusive, but comforting somehow, like knowing a trusted friend was always nearby. Can you hear my thoughts? Walsh asked Olivia warily. Olivia shook her head. No, only Lyra's, and even those aren't exactly thoughts. More like impressions, feelings. The connection will allow them to pilot as one, Elder Mira explained, to navigate the void safely, and to remain undetected by the architect's psychic scans. They were given time to rest and adjust to the joining. Olivia discovered that she now understood the void-born language without translation, though speaking it was still difficult. She could feel Lyra exploring her memories of Earth with fascination, the oceans, the forests, the cities filled with millions of humans. 6 hours later, they stood in the docking bay before a scout ship slightly larger than Lyra's escape craft. Teth had modified it for the mission, adding human-compatible controls and enhanced stealth systems. The weapon is installed, Teth explained, showing them a crystalline device at the ship's core. Once activated at the command node, it will broadcast the freedom signal across all void-born communication channels. Commander Walsh examined the ship with professional assessment. What kind of defenses does this command node have? Automated systems mostly, Keo said. The architects do not expect direct attacks. Their strength has always been in their servants. The greatest danger is detection, Naya added. If they sense you coming, they will summon every void-born warrior in the sector. Olivia felt Lyra's worry through their connection. We will be careful, she thought to her partner. Yes, Lyra responded, but even success has its price. Before Olivia could ask what she meant, Elder Mira approached them. It is time. The path through the void has been mapped as well as possible, but remember the void is ever-changing. Trust in your joined senses. They boarded the ship. Commander Walsh took position at what approximated a weapons station, while Olivia and Lyra sat together at the pilot's console. The controls responded to both their touches, recognizing them as a single entity. As the docking bay opened to the swirling chaos of the void, Olivia felt a surge of determination from Lyra. She reached out and took the alien girl's hand. Their skin patterns flowed together where they touched. Together, Olivia thought. Always, Lyra responded. The ship launched into the void. Through their joined consciousness, Olivia could see paths and currents invisible to human eyes. The chaotic energies that had seemed so frightening before now made a strange kind of sense. She could feel Lyra guiding their perceptions, showing her how to navigate this impossible space. This is incredible, Olivia whispered. Focus, Commander Walsh reminded them. We have a mission. They traveled for what seemed like hours or minutes. Time flowed strangely in the void. Eventually, Lyra guided them toward what looked like a thin spot in reality. The barrier between the void and normal space, Lyra explained through their link. Near the command node, they emerged into normal space near a massive red star. Orbiting it was the structure they had seen in the Council's Nexus pool, the Architect Command Node. It was enormous, easily the size of Earth's moon, shaped like a vast crystalline web. No signs of detection, Commander Walsh reported, checking the ship's sensors. Stealth systems holding. They approached cautiously. Through their link, Olivia could feel Lyra searching for the safest entry point, a place where the node's defenses were weakest. There, Lyra indicated a section of the structure that seemed less densely constructed, a maintenance access for void-born workers. They guided the ship toward it. As they drew closer, Olivia could see void-born moving about the structure's surface. Unmodified workers like those Lyra had shown her in memories. Their skin patterns uniform and dull compared to the free Pathfinders. How do we get past them? Walsh asked. We don't need to, Lyra said aloud. They cannot see us unless ordered to look. The architects do not waste attention on workers. True to her word, they were able to dock at the maintenance access without challenge. The ship's systems interfaced with the node, creating an airlock. The atmosphere inside is breathable for you, Lyra told Walsh, but stay close to us. The node's internal structure shifts regularly.